Hey guys, how you all doing? So, recently, a lot of you guys have been leaving comments below telling me how you've been buying up these new OLED TVs, and you've been getting some great deals out there because we've got the new models coming in and the old models obviously going out, so bargains to be had out there. And one question you guys keep asking me time and time again is what settings do I use? So instead of me getting back to you individually and posting up these settings, I thought I'll do this video and cover it all in one go. I have previously done a settings video before, but that was on my 55-inch model, and since then it's been a few months and I've made some further adjustments to it. So these settings are slightly different to the last ones, and I'll be covering your standard dynamic range settings, HDR, Dolby Vision, and also a bit on the gaming as well. Before we get into the video, just want to say a big thanks to all you guys who've been subscribing recently and all my previous subscribers as well for sticking with me. Our channel's doing real good. We're up to 1,500 subscribers now, so thanks very much for that. And yeah, we're going from strength to strength. Oh, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat here. So anyway, got a lot to cover in this video, so let's get cracking straight on with it. Right, so this is my pride and joy right here, and for any of you guys who don't know, this is a 65-inch B8. I did previously have the 55-inch version of it, but liked it so much I decided to actually upgrade it and go for the 65-inch instead. So yeah, great TV. I mean, look at it, it's bloody beautiful, isn't it? Anyway, so bit of a recap for any of you guys who aren't aware of what setup I've got here. So for my daily sort of viewing, I use a 2 terabyte Sky Q box, and I just run that setting at 1080p. I don't bother trying to force it to 4K because it looks a bit soft for my liking on the 4K, and let the TV do the upscaling. So what we're going to do, got our remote control here. Again, for any of you guys who don't know, if you hold down the settings button, long press on that, and then that will bring up our settings menu. So this is standard dynamic range settings. What have we got? So we've got the OLED panel settings, and we've got the logo luminance adjustment set to a low, and screen shift turned on. And additional settings, I've got the HDMI ultra deep color enabled. Now you're going to want to do this if you're running, say, an external Apple box or whatever. You want to do your HDR stuff and that, you want to make sure that's turned on. So that is on that one. And coming back out again, we will go to just the standard settings now. So one thing I just want to point out before I go listing them all off is, actually let's not be rude, let's talk to the camera. Just bear in mind, these are my personal settings. You might not like them, and like I say to everyone, just give them a go, try them out, give them a couple of days to sort of settle in and for your eyes to adjust to them. They are probably not accurate if you're sort of a specialist, if calibration sort of person. I expect those sort of people to roll their eyes around at my settings, but it's what works for me, and that's the way you should look at it for yourself as well. That don't necessarily have to stick to what these settings that people say, oh, these are the best, even including mine. Don't be afraid to tweak them. It's personal preference. Do what you like. Forget about what everyone else says that it should be, or you shouldn't be setting this at that level or down at that level. Bugger it. If you like it, you do it. It's your TV at the end of the day. You adjust it to whatever you like. Don't worry about what anyone else says it should be set at. So just use these as potentially a guide to, maybe get to where that you want to be. So anyway, let's just run you through these now. So I've got the OLED light set to 90. Again, some people might think that's a bit high, but I'll come to reason why it's slightly higher in a minute. Contrast 95. Brightness at 52. In a minute, I will come to how I set up the brightness as well. Sharpness 40. Colour is 53. Tint 0. Colour temperature C20. I think that's how it comes out of the box. Now let's go into advanced controls. So I've got dynamic contrast low. Then we've got dynamic colour medium. I haven't bothered messing around with that. Colour gamut is wide. Super resolution. Now I always feel that this looks best on high, just, you know, sharpens it up a little bit more. And the gamma, I set that to high 1. Now, if you feel that this makes it a little bit dark, then I would say put it down to medium and then drop down the OLED light a little bit. But that's my settings for that one. Right, moving on to picture options now. And we have noise reduction low, MPEG noise reduction low, black level low, motion eye care off, and true motion I set to clear. Now again, not everyone likes that mode because it gives it what they call the soap opera effect, but I personally prefer it myself. So again, you know, have a fiddle around with it, you know, and see what you like yourself. So let's move on and let's cover the settings for Dolby Vision. Okay, next up I will cover the HDR and Dolby Vision settings. So for this I am using a 4K Apple TV box. Again, you've got to bear in mind with these settings, obviously it is an external box, not, you know, because the settings might be slightly different if you're using the likes of Netflix and that, because some things I believe are greyed out when it's, say, using one of the built-in apps, but I generally use external devices. So right, let's get this up and let's just get something running so I make sure it is on Dolby Vision. There we go, we've got the Dolby Vision logo up in the corner there. So let's just pause that there a minute. And grab the remote control again. Don't forget, long press. And there we go. So the, where are we? Panel settings and everything are all the same on that. So let's go to the picture settings. There we go, confirming Dolby Vision. So I leave it at the standard 50 OLED light. That's how it sort of is preset. Contrast 100, brightness 52, sharpness 40, color 55, color temperature C20. Go to the advanced controls. We've got dynamic contrast medium, dynamic color medium. I leave that how it is. Again, I set the super resolution to high. Moving on down then to picture options. And that we have, sorry about that, noise reduction low, motion eye care off, and true motion I set to clear. Now, a tip for setting up the brightness on this TV. Now what I do, click on brightness when you're watching a film, pause it where you know that you're going to have solid black bars. Increase the brightness by, I normally do it when I click at a time, so this black bar starts to go grey. Now the best thing to do is do this in like a pitch black room and try and get as dark as image on this TV as you can, so you haven't got it sort of like blaring out your eyes sort of thing, because it's hard then to make out the greyness of the black bar. And then what you want to do is just wind it back in until that black bar goes completely solid black and not grey. Or you can do it the other way around. You can wind it right, you know, do it down so it's solid black, and then as soon as it goes up into the grey slightly, just knock it down back one. And that's the way that I do it. Like I say, it's hard to see in the daylight, but in a pitch black room, you will see what I mean. You're at that threshold, and just one little click will make it look slightly grey, and you just want to knock it back. Right, so let's move on to HDR content. So for HDR content, I'm going to be using the 4K Apple box again, and all I'm going to simply do is go into the settings, video and audio, and change the format. As you can see there, it's on Dolby Vision, and just simply change it to 4K HDR. Should get confirmation that now that's changed. Yeah, there we go. And we've got the HDR logo up in the corner there. So just come back out of that, and I will get the remote control. Long press again. And we go to the picture settings, which is on standard. And there we go, we've got confirmation HDR. So like I said, it's just the standard picture settings. OLED light 100, contrast 100, brightness 51, sharpness 40, color 65, tint 0, color temperature C20. And we go down to advanced controls, and I've got dynamic contrast medium. Tone mapping, that I've got turned on. That does make a big difference having that on. Dynamic color medium, I've not bothered with that one. Color gamut is wide, and again I have super resolution set to high. And on the picture options, noise reduction low, MPEG reduction low, black level low, motion eye care off, and once again I have true motion set to clear. So that is the HDR settings covered, and now let's move on to gaming. Right, we're all set up for the settings for your gaming, and I'm using a PlayStation 4 Pro, and these settings I'm going to show you now are for your standard dynamic range gaming. So again, long press. For this one, I'm in game mode. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big gamer myself, so not really fiddled around with these too much. You know, or should I say experimented that much. So we got the OLED light at 86, contrast at 95, brightness 52, sharpness 37, color 65, tint 0, color temperature C30, and then advanced controls, dynamic contrast off, dynamic color off, preferred color, I've not bothered with that, super resolution once again to high, and gamma, this time I've got it set on medium. And then coming back out and down to the picture options, that's noise reduction off, MPEG noise reduction off, black level low, motion eye care off, and true motion is off on that one. Now when it comes to HDR gaming, personally, again, I've not really fiddled around with it too much, but I would just stick with the standard settings that I previously put up for HDR content and apply them to the gaming HDR content. There you go then, guys. Hopefully you'll find those settings of some use to you, and like I said, you know, have a bit of a mess around with them. Don't think of them as, you know, set in stone, just as maybe a starting point. If you've enjoyed the video, you know, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and if you've not subscribed, maybe think about subscribing. Got loads more videos to come. I'll be honest, got a bit of a backlog of them at the moment, and yeah, got some interesting stuff coming up. Loads more videos to do with the OLED, some more tips and things like that, and a few other areas I'd like to cover on the TV that you guys might find useful. And be making some big purchases recently. Got this down there. Got a brand new 5K iMac, 27 inch to unbox and show you guys. Yeah, that's the latest model, 2019. So yeah, if you're into computers, I'll be showing you guys that one. And also me and my partner have just spent just close to £4 on a couple of e-bikes, a couple of electric mountain bikes. Never owned one before, and we tried them out on holiday and thought they were amazing. So come back to UK and picked out a couple of bikes we liked, and we've got them being delivered hopefully next week. So yeah, you guys might like that. Amazing, like the technology in them these days. I've not had a bike for years, and this is a bike that you can control the power of the motors with a app on your phone. Mad stuff. So yeah, if you'd like to see that, please tune in and show you around the bikes and take you out for a spin. So yeah, thanks once again, and hopefully catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.